Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving right into the latest data from the Daily Tech Reader for August 24th, 2026. We are unpacking a truly fascinating explainer today. We've got a set of absolute extremes, national weather patterns pulling the country in completely opposite directions, followed by some massive digital disruptions currently shaking up the AI industry. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. That is the forecasted high for Wichita Falls, Texas today. Think about that for a second. We aren't just talking about a warm late August day. We're looking at historic, punishing heat that fundamentally changes how a city even operates. When you see a number like this right out of the gate, it instantly sets the tone for a major portion of the country today. To make sense of all this, here is our structured journey for today. Rest assured, we've taken a massive geographic data set and transformed it into these clear, digestible chapters. 1. Heat waves across the south. 2. Smoke in the west. 3. Widespread storms and showers. 4. A cool northern reprieve. And 5. Today's top tech headlines. All right, starting off with Chapter 1. Heat waves across the south, the scorching reality. Let's look at the intense, punishing heat blanketing Texas and the desert Southwest. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the heat wave by directly comparing three of the absolute hottest major cities on the map today. Like we just talked about, Wichita Falls is baking at 111 degrees, but Phoenix is sitting right there at 109, and Dallas-Fort Worth isn't far behind at 108. This isn't just uncomfortable, it requires serious logistical planning. Even the overnight low in Dallas is only dropping to 84 degrees. There's literally no relief. What really caught my eye in the raw data, though, was this specific little micro detail. The conditions in Arizona are so severe today that the source explicitly categorizes Phoenix and Yuma as very hot. They just abandoned standard terminology completely, when the official forecasting models have to use a distinct extreme label just to convey the danger of a 109-degree day in Phoenix and a 108-degree day in Yuma. It's a serious climate event. Section 2. Smoke in the west. Hazy skies ahead. We are pivoting away from the dry heat to talk about air quality in the Mountain West and Pacific Northwest. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it neatly isolates specific travel hubs dealing with smoky skies today, which is immediate practical value for anyone on the West Coast. We're looking at a massive geographical footprint covered in smoke, stretching from Montana all the way to Oregon. If you're catching a flight through Billings, Great Falls, Helena, Portland, or Spokane today, the prevailing condition out your window is simply going to be smoke. But notice the variance here. While the smoke is incredibly widespread across these 9 listed cities, the temperatures accompanying it vary significantly. You've got Great Falls sitting at a relatively mild 80 degrees, while Portland, Oregon is sweltering at a hot 93 degrees, under the exact same smoky skies. It's a powerful reminder that poor air quality doesn't just happen during extreme heat. It can blanket regions experiencing entirely different weather patterns. Moving to Section 3, widespread storms and showers, a turbulent east. Let's shift gears from hazy heat to the wet, turbulent weather systems rolling through the east and southeast. I actually had to laugh a bit when we were pulling the data for this because out of every single Florida city listed today from Jacksonville down to Key West, an incredible 100% of them are forecasting thunderstorms. It's a total clean sweep. If you're anywhere in the Sunshine State today, you are absolutely going to need an umbrella and a backup plan for any outdoor events, especially with temperatures still pushing deep into the 90s. Of course, the turbulence isn't just isolated to Florida. Broadening out a bit, travelers and locals really need to prepare for rain and lightning in a bunch of other major metropolitan hubs today. Up north, New York City and Newark are getting hit with storms in the low 80s. Down south, New Orleans is facing thunderstorms at a sweltering 96 degrees. But hands down, the most jarring data point on this list is Oklahoma City. They're forecasting thunderstorms while hitting a high of 107 degrees. Sizzling heat paired directly with lightning and rain. It's a truly volatile mix. Let's take a mental break with Section 4, a cool northern reprieve, finding relief. We are finally heading to the regions experiencing mild, comfortable conditions. Let's move to and see how this builds a really sharp contrast, juxtaposing the punishing heat of the Southwest against the cool, overcast reality of Alaska. You have the very hot reality of Yuma, Arizona at 108 degrees, set right against Anchorage, Alaska, sitting at a perfectly mild, mostly cloudy 62 degrees. That is exactly the kind of crisp weather folks in the Southwest can only dream about today.
And the best part? You don't even have to go all the way to Alaska for a break. Check out this surprising micro detail from the data. Missoula, Montana, which has a perfectly pleasant daytime high of 84 degrees, is going to drop to a stunning overnight low of 49 degrees tonight. So while cities in Texas are baking in the 80s at midnight, parts of the Mountain West will actually feel quite chilly. They'll be pulling on sweaters.
Finally, Section 5. Today's top tech headlines. AI industry shifts. Let's seamlessly pivot from our weather narrative to extract the vital tech updates featured right at the bottom of the Daily Tech Reader source. So the crucial point is the absolute breakneck speed of the AI landscape as we walk through this rapid sequence of events. Just last month, July 10th, OpenAI pushed into enterprise work with GPT 5.6. Literally 5 days later, the New York Times seeks court sanctions against them over withheld training data. And then by August 3rd, China's moonshot Kimi K3 officially matched U.S. frontier models. In less than a month, we've seen massive U.S. launches, severe legal battles, and fierce international competition. Which brings us to our final thought. We started this explainer with a map full of extreme physical disruptions, 111-degree heat and hazy smoke, and ended with a digital landscape that is equally turbulent and evolving at lightning speed. The world is changing rapidly on both fronts. So my question to you is, between unprecedented climate extremes and the rapid evolution of frontier AI, how are you adapting your routines today? Thanks for joining us to unpack the data, and we'll catch you next time.